Hey guys, it's Roman real estate time. It was kind of cool to have a little glass while I was doing these videos, so I figured might as well do another one. So just so you guys know, I'm drinking the Bayou that I reviewed on Friday, and today we're going to talk about the poll results. I did a poll, and usually I let them run for a couple days just to see if I can get what the a good sample of the results, but I had 21 votes in this poll, and all of them were for one choice. So it kind of gave me a reason to okay, let's talk about this real quick. The question was, lately there's been a lot of small developments, small lot developments in Baton Rouge, Ascension, even Livingston. And by small, I mean 50 feet to 50 to 60 foot wide lots. And so I asked the question. I said, do you believe that this is kind of a chicken or the egg thing? Is it what home buyer demand wants, or is it more of the developer max profitability thing where they can fit as many lots onto a piece of land, then that increases their profitability versus is that a reaction to what buyers want? And 21 votes as of this video. We had 21 votes saying that it was all due to builder max profitability. So the question then becomes, okay, if that is the case, and when you have that many people voting for one thing and no one believes that's what buyers are demanding, then I guess the philosophical question I like to ask is, well, why are we buying? If this is not what buyers want, then why are they buying them? So, but to answer that question, I like to ask the question, why do the developers develop this way in the first place? Why do they have to squeeze so many lots into a particular development in order to maintain some profitability? And just like with real estate, everyone talks about, location, location, location. Those are the three rules of real estate. Well, and I like to add a fourth one, and that is like the lot shape. What does the lot look like? You could be in the best location, but if the lot is, super skinny and you can't build but a certain type of house on it, then you can be in the best location. But if you can't build something that somebody wants, then it's kind of ruining the location. When it comes to these types of neighborhoods that are being built with these 50, 60 foot wide lots, what we're seeing is that it's not so much that home buyers aren't demanding this type of house. They're just not demanding a particular type of lot. And the houses are very well appointed. They're very home, a lot of these developers in town, I'm not going to name any names, but you guys know the big tracts that are being built, the spec homes, a lot of them are very energy efficient. They have great finishes. Even from 8 years ago when I started this, the quality of work being built in these homes is a lot better than they were when they first started. So you have high efficiency for low utility bills. You have quality construction. You have a great purchasing process that these builders have in place to make the process as easy as possible, not for the buyer, but as agents. There are some deals that I've done with some of these builders where it's like once we have the contract, we set up the house that they want to build, and they take care of all of it. And it's fascinating for us because it takes a lot of the pressure off of us because they handle that. And that there is a value to that when the process is easy, it makes for a great experience. And the fourth thing is the location. A lot of the locations where these developments are, they are in good locations. I mean, the ones that they built off Corsi Boulevard, the ones that they have going up here on Jones Creek, off Highway 42, there's that big development going on over there. But it comes back to the question, I still ask the question, if you could choose to have a bigger lot, would you be willing to pay more money for it in that same location? And I don't know if it's through the universe where, the theory where you attract people that are like-minded to you. I tend to run into a lot of clients that I end up working with that have a similar idea when it comes to the lot size. that they would prefer, they would may even choose perhaps maybe a slightly older home on a larger lot that's in a comparable location than something that might be brand new in one of these new developments. And it's interesting to me because I always wonder if you were to develop some of these new developments on some of this land that's out there that's ready for people to go and buy and develop, if you were to build something with larger lots, that people would be willing to pay either more for it if they had a price range, say 250 to 300,000. You can buy the current house on a particular lot at 250, but would they be willing to pay 280, 290 for the same house on a better shaped lot? Hey Joseph, what's going on, man? And I really do believe, it is my belief that there is a market for that. And we're seeing some of it a little bit. Up here on Babin Road, there's a new subdivision going up that lots are half acre. And, you know, for developers to make their money, I mean, no one does a business without making some money. It really does kind of come down to what they can purchase the land for and what the development costs are. If you have to bring in a bunch of dirt, and of course you're putting in the curb and gutter, and you're putting in the roads, and you're putting in the detention ponds. Those costs add up per lot. Has how many lots that you can put up. So you have to adjust the price of the lots even before you build the house. And I think the ultimate point I'm trying to get to is whether you're buying a piece of land for yourself or if you're buying a lot in a subdivision, the dirt that you're paying for directly affects the price of the house that you're building and what it's going to cost. And there could be a big difference between a lot that's $65,000, say in Pelican Point, versus paying $75,000 or $80,000 for a lot. If you're a builder looking to spec a house, that $15,000 difference, it will make a big deal as far as what you're going to put on the house and what you're going to sell it for. And maybe to some extent, if it's the same size lot, let me go back. If it's the same size lot, but you have to get it at the right price. You know, we talk about this when it comes to flipping houses. You make your money on the buy, not so much what you do to it and flip it to sell it, but it all starts with what you buy it for. The lot that you're buying if it's a real piece of property, if it's a development that has, you know, maybe these smaller lots, that cost of the land is directly affecting what that house looks like, what the whole community looks like. And I guess my point to all this is when you're purchasing a house, sometimes it's easy to get taken in by the quality craftsmanship, the efficiency of the home, the process, where the house is located. But be sure that when you're buying, look at the dirt that's underneath you, look at the ground, look at the lot and the shape and where it's located in that subdivision, and see if that is something that you may not know it at the moment until someone brings it up. Because I bring this up all the time. But make sure that is a piece of land that you'd be happy to have. And if you have the opportunity, buy the most unique one in that subdivision. So corner lots, a lot of times the corner lots and lots in the back of the subdivisions at the ends of T's, those are the first ones to go. And those are the first ones that might have a little bit of a premium on them. There's a reason for that. Because they have more land. They may have cost the developer more to put in. But if you're negotiating with a private seller on a piece of property, really do your due diligence to get that number down on that piece of land as low as possible for the type of property you're buying. And you know, it's the most, the lot is the most, in my opinion, it's always and I'm looking at my notes here, it most directly impacts everything else that you do to that property going forward. So if you pay a high premium for a lot, but don't put the proper size house on it, you can have a great property, you could be leaving money on the table. If you be very similar on small lots, so you may not see the increase in value so much from the land, from the whole community itself, but at the same time, it only takes one or two sales to go sour before you end up with maybe the whole neighborhood going down with it, because there's nothing that's separating the houses so much, but the location of the houses will separate which houses sell fast and which houses sell slow. So with that, if you have questions about evaluating land, evaluating what the price of a lot should be, I do this a lot. This is the first thing I do when I look at any house: is what is the site cost, and then build in what that house should be worth based on if you're to reconstruct it again or just the location in general. I do that. I like doing that a lot. And so you can give me a call. My number is 225-772-DAVE. You can always message me here on my Facebook page. If you're watching me on YouTube, my contact information is there too. If I can get a little card or something, I'm going to put it up on there. But for now, that's 11 minutes of why we have so many people thinking that's more about builder profitability than what home buyers demand. If you want to see the change in how developers build land, we have to be willing to, as buyers and sellers, decide that these are the types. The lot actually matters more than perhaps we're putting value on. To buy you Rome, and we'll talk to you guys again on Friday.